Ladies and gentlemen, good evening to all. You are once again welcome here on the platform of the Vigils of Conscience on the front page of international news. China and Russia have panicked the West. The United States of America is asking what is wrong, while Donald Trump is seeking to strengthen ties with Russia, and at the same time China is being defeated. China has decided to come out of its reserve and start to really resume its military cooperation with Russia. And this was illustrated by the implementation of an unprecedented military exercise, joint and in the Asia-Pacific zone. You know, this area is an area where Russia, China has a lot of influence, and it hurts the United States of America a lot. Washington doesn't like it. But China wants to continue to control the Asia-Pacific area. And because obviously this region is of paramount importance. And so, knowing that America can at any time seek to do something through its allies who are in the region, China has decided with Russia to proceed with a demonstration of force and power. And this exercise that we don't know about at the moment, the name. It was big, or at least it still is big. It is a patrol. Moreover, that they have implemented a patrol. It is not a simple exercise, but a patrol, therefore a concrete action. So in the context of this video conference, ladies and gentlemen, it is this news that we are going to talk about. But before continuing, as usual, agree to put the I like to share the video conference to the maximum in all possible groups. And then if you're new here, click the subscribe button to subscribe. If you are new, don't forget to leave your opinion in the comments. Let's go into the depths. According to official information, the Russian Defense Ministry has confirmed that Russian and Chinese warships have conducted joint patrols in the Asia-Pacific region. They are patrols. Not an exercise. Well, it sounds like an exercise, but they are joint patrols. It is a demonstration of their interoperability, their ability to cooperate in a very sensitive mission, like a patrol. This patrol, they were looking for who the enemies, if they get their hands on them, or if they get their hands on them because it's going on, what are they going to do then? This operation includes anti-submarine maneuvers intended to test naval cooperation between the two countries. Between the two powers, it is necessary to test their naval cooperation, that is to say, in the framework of maritime war. How can the two armies work together? Because they are still expecting a confrontation in the Pacific region, in the Asia-Pacific region, and therefore to do so. Allies must be able to work together. The world has become bipolar, and each ally is strengthening its ties with its other allies. Each bloc is strengthening its ties with its allies. So there were deck aircraft that were also mobilized, and that underlines the multidimensional nature of the sea-air exercise. So they are not limited simply to maritime activities, but sea, air, planes that come, that land on ships for war life, that do operations that go up in the air. The interoperability between the two powers has been successfully tested. It is also a strong message that is being sent to Washington, which has sent to the European Union to tell them that we are also ready on our side. If you are helping Ukraine, don't you want the conflict to end? Yes, don't let it end. No problem, but we are ready too. So it must be said that it is a very reinforced military cooperation, because this type of maneuver, which is not a first, but its recent regularity, illustrates increasingly close strategic cooperation between Moscow and Beijing. In recent times, they have begun to carry out these exercises on a recurring basis to show that they are united, that they are cooperating, and that any enemy we face will be a common enemy. And who is this enemy? It is, of course, the West. It must be said that the two countries display a de facto military alliance, even if they do not have a written agreement like what Russia has with North Korea. But in fact, they already somehow exceed the written agreement, so it must be said, even if. Even without an official treaty comparable to that of NATO, As I was saying, I was comparing with that of North Korea. You know that the agreement between Russia and North Korea is like the agreement between the NATO member states. But it's for them, they're implementing it like that without official written agreement. You understand so far? Please share the video conference with me. The patrols aim to show that Russia and China can mutually secure their maritime interests in the face of Western pressure. So here is the exercise that these two countries have engaged in. Let us now try to see the geopolitical stakes of these patrols, the implications, the geopolitical consequences. Very clearly, it is a strategic message to the West, as was said at the beginning of the video conference, because the Asia-Pacific area is a hotspot of global rivalry. We have the American presence, we have the tensions around Taiwan, we have the rise of China, China's growing influence. This is an area of rivalry. The Americans are there, Taiwan is there, the Americans are there for Taiwan. So this is an extremely strategic area. Thus, by putting together joint patrols, Moscow and Beijing are sending a clear political signal to the United States and its allies in the region. What is the message? We are the masters and we will continue to be the only masters. You will remember that China said China had sworn that no power in the world could stop it from taking back Taiwan. China too. Is that what it's all about, getting Taiwan back? So this situation underlines that the war in Ukraine does not distract Russia from its military rapprochement with China. China also closes its eyes, no matter what they are going to say. But it's his ally. It's his ally. And now, the other geopolitical consequence is that it risks. There is a risk of regional escalation because we have the American military presence, we have Taiwan. We have China rising in power, which wants to control everything. So for Western powers and their Asian partners such as Japan, South Korea, and Australia, these maneuvers can be perceived as a provocation. For them, it is a provocation. And these maneuvers risk fueling a race for naval power demonstrations because China and Russia are going to end for them and the others too are going to come and start again for them too. We are talking about a demonstration. Demonstrations and demonstrations. There can be provocation and then bim, we don't want it. We are witnessing something else. So here is the front page of the news, ladies and gentlemen. So thank you for sharing it as much as possible. I will return to you later by the grace of the Almighty with new information. It was the voice of your only samurai.